cool, man. Good to get away from basketball. Yeah, it was good for us.
Just kind of chilled out for a minute.
Yeah. Hung out with my friends. Decompressed a bit. Got back to work today.
Did you rewatch any of the Christmas films? Steve said he did.
Nah,
Coach.
I didn't. I know exactly what went on. So, it's a fun game though.
In your mind, what
turned the ball over? So I want to say 10 to 12 points of transition where we could have had layups and we turned it over. Just trying to thread the needle. I think we could just keep it simple and make correct passes, and we'll be fine. And thought defensively we were solid that game. So, but we can't give teams extra possessions and turn it over. So, it's gonna be a big emphasis for us.
Is that more of a team like Cleveland that to try to limit some turnovers and don't try to attempt to thread the needle pass? You guys do it a lot against Cleveland. They seem to be able to capitalize on it.
That's against everybody. Every time we had high turnover games, we in a tight game and we lose. So that's against every team, especially the good ones. Cleveland so good and getting the ball out of transition, finding shooters. So we'll unlock that part of the game for them. We'd rather get a shot up every time. But that's against every team. We turn it over, we're gonna have a tough time winning.
Advantage of every opportunity for the game coming up on Monday.
I think just taking what the defense gives us is important. Just trying to find the right pass, find the right players. If they're open, just be aggressive. Just play the game at the end of the day. Trying to think too much and just go out there and play. And I think that's what makes our team so good, is that we play off instincts and we play with a joy and a passion where we don't really think about too much. We just go out there and play, and Coach does a great job putting us in really good positions to be successful.
Do you think it was, you guys went up 14, I think, it was almost like, all right, it feels like you had it.
No, I wouldn't say that. They made plays. You got to give them credit. Kyrie had some tough shots in the fourth. They got stops and got some momentum. They were at home. Those two dunks by Jefferson were huge for them. They had momentum. At home, and we just made some careless plays. But I wouldn't say we relaxed. Against a championship team, there's no relaxing, especially on Christmas Day. We played hard. We made mistakes.
A lot to be said coming out in that game. Is it him to maybe be more aggressive against Cleveland, or is it maybe a game plan thing to try to get him going as a team?
Well, lately he's been aggressive.
Yeah.
I think not even that Cleveland game, it was games before then when he'll take 12, 13 shots. So it was just a pattern over a couple games where he was like, shooting in the teams and, low teams and shots. So, but lately he's been getting them up and being aggressive and playing his game. He's been looking great since that Cleveland game. I think he's been playing on another level. So it's all, like I said, man. It's all a learning process. We're figuring each other out, and I think we're starting to get close.
Come in, Cleveland won the first game. We're talking about just the mental psyche standpoint. The fact that you guys will have 3 days off before that game. Cleveland hasn't practiced and had to practice in 2 weeks. Do you think that has an extra incentive?
No, it don't matter. You got veterans on the floor, they know how to play. When lights come on, we know how to play. Practice is big, and we definitely need to get better. I'm sure both teams feel that way, but when you can't practice and when you have days off, you got to make it work. And so we come out there and compete, play our game, and they're a championship team. This is a championship caliber team, and we know we want to run. We know what defenses we want to play. We know our scheme. So once you got that continuity, I guess it helps when you miss practice.
You were tight in the first half, and then third quarter you guys basically were taking over the last 3 games.
Yeah.
What happens in that third quarter? What changes?
We kind of regroup, make adjustments. I think last few games teams have been spreading us out, hitting it, making tough twos over us. I think late in that first half against Detroit, Marcus Morris made a couple tough twos. I think we would have busted the game open, but when guys make tough shots on us, we know it's going to be a tough night. But as the game goes on, the legs start to get a little heavy, and when we get out and run, we tire teams out. And I think that's what happened in the third quarter.
The defense, you guys held those teams in the 20s and 30% in that third quarter. Is that just an intensity level that's rising, or?
I think just sticking with. I think the first half, like I said, teams are up to play us. They're gonna play their best game against us. So, shots that we want to give up, sometimes they make, and that kind of spreads us out a little bit, and then they start to get, stuff in the paint. So some bad breaks our way. But as a third quarter, we stick to what we do, and they start missing shots. And I think that's just, for us keeping our foot on the gas on the defensive end, and forcing, contested jump shots and rebounding and getting out and running.
Is there a sense that when you do, at halftime is within a few points, that you can put together a quarter or a period to kind of open things up?
I think we just know just to be patient. Obviously, we want to start well, but we're not going to expect to blow every team out in the first, second quarter. Just be patient and know that it's a long game, and that at some point, our defense is going to start to, generate turnovers and miss shots, and we'll get out and play our open court game.
It's Monday.
I wouldn't say it's bigger. I think it's going to be an atmosphere of that game is going to be a playoff atmosphere, but I wouldn't say it means anything as far as if you win this game, what do we get? Both teams is trying to get better. Obviously, we want to win every game, but I think the thing we get out of these type of games is to see what we are, see what type of team we are, continue to just find out what we do and our identity. Going forward, and keep building. I think that's what both teams get out of regular season games. Just keep building and trying to figure out what type of team we're going to be later on in the season.
You said before in this league, these players that come up with a rivalry because you guys are so close.
I didn't say that.
How'd you say it? I don't want to put words in there. How'd you say it?
I said when players move around, coaches move around, the rivalries kind of die out because the same players are not on the team for a long time.
Okay, fair. Would you classify this as a full game?
Yeah, I think so. I know with the addition of, I'm new here, but for the most part, guys that last two finals playing against each other for a while, from Steph to LeBron to Clay to Shumpert, J.R. Smith, Kyrie, Draymond. So it's a group of players that are familiar with each other, in this rivalry, I guess. But yeah, it's good for our game, and it's good for competition, and it should be fun.
Some guys go extra juice when you have a game when everybody's going to be watching. Do you feel that way, or is that a little something different?
Man, my grandma and my mom watch me every night, so I gotta play. So when they watch me, that's more pressure than anything else. So like I said, man, I keep saying, it's going to be a great atmosphere against a great ball club, and we want to see how it plays out.
Mom and grandma critic?
After every game they text me, so I know they're watching. That's most important to me.
What's their biggest pet peeve about you?
They don't criticize. They don't. They just give me support. But they can see when my mom would call me, ask me what's going on here and there. But for the most part, they support me. So that's all that matters.
Can she tell when you're not right?
Yeah. She birthed me, man. She can tell when I'm not right. But luckily, it doesn't happen so often. Ask me what's going on, so I guess it's a good thing.